and welcome to my channel. Welcome to another tarot reading from me. So today's topic is going to be on what is the next chapter of your life. Yes, this has been recommended at some point, but I don't remember who and when recommended that, but I felt in the mood to do something more spiritual right now, so there it is. As usual, I want to say, also, can you please appreciate the fact that I have sacrificed a rose for this reading? I was tired of the dried petals, and so I got some fresh ones. They're so velvety. Anyway, so these are your options. Once again, I want to mention that I have meditated upon the question in order to choose the crystals for this reading. These are the crystals that stood out in this particular order. So pile number 1, you have this, wait, I gotta zoom in. So pile number 1, you have this fluorite crystal. Pile number 2, you have this ruby zoisite crystal. Pile, wait, I'm gonna put it nicely. Pile number 3, you have this unakite crystal. All right, so these are your options. You can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Once again, my recommendation is that you take some deep breaths, meditate upon the question, exhale longer than you inhale. That will help center you and calm you down. And open your eyes after you have meditated a little bit, and open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. So if you feel drawn to more than one, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. Before I sign off, I will remind you to please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It is the easiest way to support me and it is free. And also consider clicking on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will upload a new reading. Thank you, and I will see you at your pile. All right, so this is for those of you who want to choose with a card as well as a crystal. I have gotten a new deck, some Archetypes something. It looks really interesting, but it looks like it's going to be quite difficult to shuffle, so bear with. Anyway, Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people that chose the fluorite crystal. What is the next chapter of their lives, Spirit? What is the next chapter for pile number 1, the people who chose the fluorite crystal? Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 2, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal? What is the next chapter of their lives going to bring? I don't know about that one. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 3, the people who chose the unakite crystal? What is... All right, this one just fell out. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see, pile number 1, we have the mountain. Pile number 2, we have the box. Pile number 3, we have the warrior. All right. So let's see, let me try to arrange them, but I think this is pretty much the best I can do. Trying to fix up the light a little bit, but yeah. All right, so these are your options if you would like to choose with a card as well as a crystal. Pile number 1, number 2, number 3. You can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Once again, my recommendation is that you take some moments to relax, let your mind go blank, exhale longer than you inhale. That will help calm you down and center you. And do this with your eyes closed while meditating upon the question. You can also address the question to a higher power, like God or a spirit or a deity or a saint or whoever, your ancestors. And then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, you are free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. I will see you at your reading. So hello once again, this is for those of you who would like to choose with a card as well as a crystal. So these are your options. Pile number 1, you have this card over here and or this fluorite crystal. Pile number 2, you have this card over here and or this ruby zoisite crystal. Pile number 3, you have this card over here and or this unakite crystal. All right, so these are your options. You can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Wait a minute. I don't know why it didn't feel right. So, okay. Now you can pause the video if you need more time to decide. Once again, my recommendation is that you take some moments to breathe deeply, allow your mind to go blank and then after that, actually start meditating upon the question. You can also address the question to a higher power if you are comfortable with that, like God, a deity, a saint, whoever you want, your ancestors. And then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you intuitively without overthinking it. And if you feel drawn to more than one pile, feel free to watch several or even all of them and just take whichever messages resonate. I will see you at your reading. So welcome pile number 1. This is your reading. If you have chosen this card, the Mountain, with the Roman numeral 33, and or this fluorite crystal. All right. So let's see what other cards you get. This is going to be the shuffling phase. I'm going to add timestamps if you want to skip directly to the reading. Let's see. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. People who chose the fluorite. What is the next chapter in their life? What is the next chapter in their life, Spirit? Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the Four of Swords, the Hermit, and the Page of Swords. Sorry about the lighting, I'm trying, but okay. Let's see, some more cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the fluorite. Tell me about them. What is the next chapter of their lives? What is the next chapter of pile number 1's life? Okay, the Moon, the Lovers, the Page of Swords again, the Hierophant, the Three of Wands, and the Emperor. Let's get some oracle cards for you. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the fluorite crystal. What is the next chapter of their lives going to bring? Spirit, should I get another one? Let me get another one because I really feel like getting another card. All right, so 2 from this deck, sorry. Let's get some more. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1, the people who chose the fluorite. What is the next chapter for them? Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is the next chapter for them? All right, let's see. Ooh, we have 31 Source. We have 25 Ring. Promise, commitment, partnership, deal, contract, cycle. Okay. Let's see these cards. We have Tiger, Fire. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Polar Bear, Mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Nice. Pile number 1. So I feel like Spirit is telling you that you have a very strong energy and very strong potential. Let me try to fix the image a bit. All right, so pile number 1. You have the Page of Swords coming out twice, so that's a particularly strong card. I know this is going to sound like a cliche, but look at this. The ring. First of all, let me start from the beginning. Okay, we have the mountain with the number 33 on it. And 33 is a master number, which boils down to number 6, which is ruled by Venus. Venus, the Karaka of marriage in Vedic astrology. Karaka being planet / signifier of marriage. On top of that, we have the ring here with number 25, which boils down to a number 7, which again, I would connect in this case to the 7th house, the house of marriage and partnership. And you also have the Hierophant. You also have the Lovers. So I really think that in this next stage, a lot of you might actually be getting married. Oh my God, it just hit me right now. How did I not see this? That you also have the Hierophant twice. I don't know what, my mind must have been like, zoning out at some point, and I didn't pay attention to the fact that the Hierophant came out twice. So you have the Hierophant coming out twice, and you also have the Page of Swords coming out twice. So it really does seem to me like there is a strong message here of marriage for many of you. Like either you're going to meet someone significant, or you're going to end up in a long-term committed relationship. Maybe if you are seeing someone that you already see has long-term potential, that could be someone, the person on your mind. It could be that you're going to meet someone, I do think that for many of you, this could be someone that's already in your life, because we don't have like the Two of Cups, for instance, and we don't have any aces either. So, those would show more like a fresh new beginning. However, it doesn't mean that if they didn't come out, you're not going to meet someone new or something. But there are also other significations of these cards that I'm going to get into in a little bit. So this is you right now. Okay, so this is where you're starting out right here. And I can see that many of you, first of all, are in this very kind of feminine energy. And this is irrespective of your gender, all right? Which is not a bad thing or anything, or neither is it a particularly good thing. By feminine energy, I mean you are pretty open emotionally. You have a lot of emotional intelligence. You're also someone who has a lot of emotional maturity, like you're someone who probably has gone through some things because the moon is underneath. So I'm getting here the kind of energy that I would see in someone who's into psychology, psychotherapy, someone who has really analyzed themselves and maybe has processed a lot of their, let's say, past traumas or bad past experiences. I also feel like you are in a bit of an energy of passiveness, though, because the moon tends to show an energy that is very dreamy, kind of very in your head. So while there's like a lot of potential with you, especially when it comes to spiritual development, and I feel like maybe also teaching, maybe that's why you have the Hierophant twice, but again, I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But with the Queen of Cups, there's a lot of potential for fertility in all kinds of areas, not literally necessarily connected to producing children, although that could be a thing as well if you're interested in it. But it's particularly connected to creativity in all forms, so there's a lot of creative energy with you. And there's also a lot of imagination, a lot of intuition, a lot of wisdom. So there's kind of like this wise woman archetype here, irrespective of your gender. Someone like, I don't know, the village crone or something in the past or something. You know, like the old women who knew how to use herbs and they would give remedies to everyone and people would seek their advice. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting here. So this is like your base energy at the moment when you are seeing this. If this does not resonate at all, you might want to consider seeing one of the other readings, but or just sit through the rest of it and see if it resonates, all right? But this is the energy that I'm seeing here. And now what I'm seeing is with the rest of the cards is that you are also someone that is quite frustrated maybe with respect to a relationship. More specifically, or with relationships in general. More specifically, some of you could be in a relationship that is more of a situationship. You know, maybe there is someone who has been on and off in your life, or you just have had relationships that did not give you stability. I am mainly getting the vibe that there is this one person that you've either had some kind of one, you know, on and off situation, or someone who maybe is not entirely committal, or you're not really 100% ready to commit to them. So there is this kind of like sense of turmoil and like not knowing where you stand about romance, and also about maybe one particular person that you have on your mind. For some of you, it could be that you just seem to not meet the right person. And then for others of you, it could just be that, again, you've had like a string of maybe affairs and you're frustrated with that, and you're interested in something more stable. It does seem like maybe your love life up until this point and in the immediate future is going to be somehow a bit of a whirlwind. Some of you, again, you may be in an actual relationship that maybe is committed, at least on the surface, but it just makes you feel really unstable. Like maybe the person is not as reliable as you would like them to be, or, you know, or it could be that this person just will blindside you somehow, will like turn your whole world upside down, and force some major changes in you that are going to make you feel uncomfortable. But the bottom line is that Spirit is telling you any kind of opportunity that show up, either with respect to love and romance or with respect to any creative projects, you need to learn to be flexible and take opportunities as they come. And I also see that things are actually turning for the better overall, even though it sometimes feels frustrating and like things are moving too slow. For some reason, I got that song in my head of like Sugar Pie, Honey Bunch. In and out my life. I don't know where you're going. Something like that. I can't help myself. I don't remember what the lyrics are, but something about being in love with you. It's a pretty upbeat song, but the lyrics are talking of something on and off. Anyway, I digress. So we also have the Hierophant and the Page of Swords here on the third position. To me, this shows that you are pretty determined to, I mean, again, I feel like you're someone who has a potential to be some kind of a leader, especially when it comes to things like teaching, consulting, maybe being some kind of a healer. You have the potential to basically teach a lot of people, and maybe you're also someone who has gathered an audience of some kind. So again, this may be connected to social media for some of you. For some others, this could be, I don't know, you have a community of people that are very admiring of you and what you have achieved with respect to profession, I feel, especially. This could also just mean that you're someone who's very intelligent, and you're someone who, you know, like the key to getting more respect and getting more visibility, let's say, especially when it comes to your professional life, is by developing your communication skills or by relying on your communication skills. So either speaking, or could even be singing for some of you, take it how it resonates, or through writing of any kind. Any form of communication really is what is going to help you bring success to your life. This one, I feel like many of you are going to be focused on developing a spiritual practice. This could be about you taking up something like meditation, yoga, maybe finding a guru. I also think for many of you, this could be about entering some kind of educational program within the near future. Maybe even things, I mean, of course, it could be something like college or master's, but it could also be some kind of specialized course. So I see some education showing up in the near future. But I also see that this is mainly also a time to kind of take things slow in the near future. I mean, it's not a time to just throw yourself head first. It's a time to also make sure that you are balanced and you get enough rest and you learn to really manage your resources. I feel like Spirit is also telling you that you might be, this is really specific, okay, and it's going to sound a bit weird, but for some of you, there's like a specific message that you might be getting messages through your dreams, like really important messages, either from, I mean, you name it. It could be your subconscious, it could be your superconscious, it could be your spirit guides, maybe ancestors that have passed. So I feel like Spirit is going to tell you, is telling you that within the near future, your dreams are going to become particularly insightful and relevant somehow. And I feel like meditation is really important. Somehow learning on, focusing on understanding the bridge between the conscious and subconscious mind. Maybe again, for some of you, this could be about studying psychology or getting into therapy. All right, this is really kind of specific, but what I'm seeing here is that Spirit is telling you that you might be getting in your own way because you're someone who relies too much on your comfort zone. I think many of you are people that are quite solitary, and even if you're not solitary, like you're someone who probably has high standards for the people around you. So Spirit is telling you that you need to learn to get a little bit outside of your comfort zone when it comes to your little universe, and maybe opening up your universe a little bit, and meeting new people, giving other people a chance to at least get to know you and to get close to you, because there's like this really strong message of, I don't know, defensiveness. I think maybe not defensiveness, that's not the best way, but just the fact that I think many of you honestly are really spiritual. So like you're someone who probably does not suffer fools gladly. Like you have some really specific requirements for, people that you allow close to you. And because of that, you might become too isolated. You might get too stuck in your comfort zone. So I feel like Spirit is telling you to be careful not to miss out because you don't open up or you don't take chances. Like don't get stuck in a rut basically. And also, but I feel like especially when it comes to like your goals and the balance between pursuing your goals and interpersonal relations, Spirit is telling you that it's fine that you have passions you want to pursue, but don't get so closed off that you never go out with friends or like you never open up to meeting new people. I also think more specifically for some of you, it could be that you are at a distance from the people that you feel closest to spiritually. So maybe there are like friends. The filming stopped for a little bit. So where was I? I feel like some of you, very specifically, you might have friends that are far away from you physically, and that might be difficult for you. For some of you, it could even be that someone you really care about, like maybe romantically, is at a distance, and that could be taxing on you. But whichever the situation is, Spirit is telling you to not be afraid to leave your comfort zone and, get to meeting new people. And finally, we have the Page of Swords and the Emperor. So I feel like Spirit is telling you that your communication skills, your intellectual skills, this could also be some new idea. Like, I feel like for most of you, this is an idea that has already sprouted in your mind, or some kind of intellectual pursuit that you have been considering taking up, that is going to lead you to success, basically. And you're going to be reaching, at the end of this next chapter of your life, you're going to be reaching a position of some kind of intellectual maturity and also respectability, where people are going to respect you for your intellect, for your ideas. And I feel like communication skills, again, show up very strongly. So, you could be known because of your ideas, just one way or another. Or it could be, like I said, for some of you very specifically, it could even be music. Like maybe you will write some songs or something. So this is pretty much what I have from the cards. Let me get astrological cards. Spirit. What is going on with the lighting? Never mind, I won't change anything because I might make it worse. Yeah, I think it's better now. So, Spirit, tell me, for pile number 1, tell me what is going on with pile number 1 in their next chapter, in the next chapter of their lives. The people who chose the fluorite crystal. What is happening for them in the next chapter of their lives? Oh my God, Venus. What a surprise. I'm being sarcastic. See, I did say right off the bat that number 33 is ruled by Venus. And we have Pisces, the sign that Venus is exalted in. Love is in the air, everywhere I look around. That's the song that I got in my head for some reason. So we have Leo as well. We have Mars as well, drive and power. So here we have the balance that I was talking about between pursuing your own ambitions and your goals and managing interpersonal relations. Venus is also, like I said, the Karaka of marriage. And we also have Aries, the combative. So there's a lot of Mars energy here. So with all the fire going on, we have Aries. And also, hello, look at the symmetry here, Aries. And we have this, I mean, technically, I think this is supposed to be a goat. But it's similar, the horns and everything. And any case, the fire and water elements and also a little bit of earth here are showing that this next chapter will show you being more courageous, more confident, much more of a go-getter. Also, there could be something connected to the physical body. Some of you might be becoming more physically active. Maybe you are taking more time to exercise. I mean, this is also like balancing the feminine and masculine energies here as well. You're like, look, it's really interesting to me how it starts with the dreamer, then it moves on to the extrovert, then it moves to drive and power, then it moves to the combative. So it's almost like a progression. And then we start out with love and beauty, which is kind of a symmetry to this Queen of Cups energy. Especially since in this deck, the Queen of Cups is a pregnant woman, which is usually the Empress in most decks. So I feel like there's the reason I mention that is because the Empress always associates with Venus energy, as far as I see it anyway. So there seems to be like this progression going on between you kind of being like, maybe a little bit too nice, a little bit too compromising, and then focusing more gradually on what it is that you want, going after your ambitions, but not losing sight of the wisdom you have gained through your intuition, your creativity, and overall focusing on your feminine energy. We also have like Leo and Tiger, so hello, Eye of the Tiger for some of you. And I mean the song from Rocky, I don't mean the crystal. So I feel like, yeah, many of you are going to have a newly found drive and passion in this next chapter. So let me get the Astro dice. Spirit, tell me what is going to happen for pile number 1 in their next chapter, in the next chapter of their lives. What is happening for pile number 1? Tell me. Okay, we have the moon as well. We also have number 3, which I associate with the 3rd house, which to me is Page of Swords energy. And let's see this one. Oh, and we have Sagittarius. All right. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. Wait. Okay. So I hope you can sort of see it now. So it's Sagittarius. So this shows that, I mean, this could be connected to this 3 of Wands energy as well, the Sagittarius energy. So for some of you, this could actually be that within this next chapter, you are going to be asked to really get out of your comfort zone and travel more, maybe even stay in a foreign place significantly, or a faraway place, not necessarily foreign. And with the number 3, also, this is a confirmation of the Jupiterian energy that I was talking about. So some of you could be heading towards some kind of educational program, like you're expanding your horizon somehow. But you're definitely going to become more, I mean, let's not forget that Sagittarius, being ruled by Jupiter, is also connected to wisdom, having a broad view of things, higher philosophy, higher education. So in a way, I see it as a confirmation of the Page of Swords coming out. Like, you're going to become way more educated, more intelligent, more understanding, and somehow this is going to not just broaden your horizons, but going to bring you more success. And with the moon energy, I feel like this is you learning to master your emotions. And like I said, I feel like you're only going to take the positive sides of this Queen of Cups and moon energy that started out to begin with. And again, very specifically for some of you, the moon showing out, this could be about either solving a relationship to your mother, or it could be about motherhood, you know, like you becoming a mother. But the moon is also, like I said, the bridge between the conscious and the subconscious. That I also see it as a confirmation of that. So some of you could actually be going more into psychotherapy. And also the number 3 here is a sign of not just courage, but it's also, again, connected to Gemini and the house of communication. So yeah, communication is going to be very strong. Your intellectual abilities are getting really sharp. And for some of you more specifically, this could be about learning to become self-employed, or at least more independent overall, you know? Okay, let's get some charmies. I'm really curious what's going to come out with the charmies. I haven't used these in a while. Spirit, tell me about pile number 1. What is the next chapter of pile number 1's life? Oh my god. Imagine. So tell me, Spirit, for pile number 1. Okay. Imagine all the people. I keep getting songs in my head. Please ignore my brain. So you have Imagine, which to me is moon energy again. We have, let's see the words first. We have beautiful. Maybe some of you are going to go through a glow up, like I said, because hello, Venus is also the planet of beauty. I somehow completely glossed over that. Yeah, Venus is about beauty and luxury, and it's also about wealth. So yeah, and it's about pursuing your heart's desire. So all of those things could be a thing in your next chapter. But since you have Venus and Mars together, for many of you, this could be like a physical glow up. We have dream. Yeah, I did say that somehow dreams and like the conscious, the subconscious bridge, the bridge between them is going to become really important. We have hope. We have hope twice. Okay. So I feel like Spirit is telling you that you're going to have increased faith and optimism. That goes hand in hand with the Jupiterian energy that came through. We have a butterfly, which again makes me think of a glow up, some kind of significant transformation. The butterfly is also potentially connected to this Wheel of Fortune energy, which is the way that I see it, 8th house energy. We have a stingray, which again I kind of associate with Scorpio and transformative energy. Like, I feel like many of you are going to have some significant transformation in this by the end of this next chapter. We also have an Anis. What is it called? Anis? Is it called Anis? I know it's called in German Anis in many languages, but you know what? This is a spice that is used in cookies and whatever, especially around winter time. And it's also the flavor of ouzo or sambuca. So hopefully you're not going to become alcoholic, but this could be, I don't know, winter time might be significant. This is what it makes me think of. But this also kind of makes me think of a kaleidoscope. So again, just makes me think of more transformation. That's what it leads me to. Or it's like transformation, but at the same time, a richer understanding of yourself. We have this, which is, I would say, is a feather. Makes me think of birds of a feather fly together. So I really think for many of you, it could be that you're going to meet some significant soulmates. And I mean plural. So for some of you, it could be maybe just a friend or something, or someone you're meant to. It could even be like pets, actually, because like soulmates don't have to be human. Like there are some new connections being formed in this next chapter. And for some of you, like I said, it could be leading to marriage as well. But it could be multiple people coming into your life. We also have a bone, which makes me think of determination, you know, like a dog with a bone. It kind of feeds into that Mars energy of you being determined and ambitious in this next chapter. And we have love with the locket. So I feel like maybe someone is going to open your heart during this time. Just maybe. Again, I'm getting a song in my head. Please comment in the comment section if you are annoyed by my song references, and I'm going to try to keep it in check. But I was getting that song by Oasis, Just Maybe You're Going to Be the One That Saves Me. Wonderwall, that's the song. Wonderwall by Oasis. You might want to check it out. You know, today is going to be the day that they're going to throw it back to you. Anyway, I won't get into it. But this is pretty much what I'm seeing, pile number 1. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I definitely have. As you can tell, I'm enjoying myself. And if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the notifications bell, comment in the comment section with anything you would like to share, ideas for future topics you would like me to cover. And also, if you would like to support my channel further, click on the join button to become a member. If you're interested in having a private tarot reading, check out the video description for more information. I've left my contact information. I've also left a link to reviews I have gotten for private readings before, if you're curious to see them. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel where I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. And I will be linking it in the video description as well. Check it out if you're interested in astrology. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye! So welcome pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this card with the box, and this is number, I think, 44. And you have this crystal, the ruby zoisite. So this is going to be the card selection / shuffling phase. I'm going to add timestamps if you don't want to sit through it, because I will be taking my time. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal. What is the next chapter of their lives? What should they expect in this next chapter of their lives, Spirit? Let's see. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Moon. We have the Judgment. We have the 10 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. Let's see, Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 2, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal? What should they expect in this next chapter of their lives? What is the next chapter of their lives about? Tell me, Spirit. Okay. Queen of Cups, 7 of Wands, 6 of Wands, Five of Wands, Two of Swords, and the Moon again. All right, let's get some oracle cards for you. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the Ruby Zoisite. Tell me, what should they expecting? What should they be expecting? Why am I don't know, eating up my words. Tell me, Spirit, about pile number 2, the people who chose the Ruby Zoisite. What should they expect in this next chapter of their lives? Yeah, this one. Spirit, what should pile number 2, the people who chose the Ruby Zoisite, expect in this next chapter of their lives? All right, so you have number 15, Bear, Power, Boss, Courage, Leadership. I'm not sure what this is. Firmness, okay, Protection. So let's see what else. Abundance, number 1. Okay. Also, you have the number 15 on the Bear, which is ruled by Venus. And we have abundance here. This does not surprise me. You had number 1 on the abundance, and you have 15 here, number 1. That's sun energy. You also have number 44 here on the box, which is leading life path number 8, which is 44. I mean, 4 plus 4 equals 8, is connected to material abundance. So that makes sense to me. All right, we have Wolf Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. Personal choice. Close your eyes. What animal do you imagine? What strengths are they known for? What wisdom do they share? Embrace these qualities. So Spirit is telling you to meditate a little bit and think about which animal comes to your mind. All right. So you have the moon coming out twice here. And also the number on the moon is 18. So this is a number 9. All right. You also have the 10 of Pentacles coming out. Also, can I just say you do have some cards in common with pile number 1. So if you felt drawn to it, definitely check it out. But only if you felt drawn to it. So this is your state right now. At the moment when you are reading this, you have the 3 of Wands and you have the Queen of Cups. So I see you as someone who is full of desires and dreams. Actually, I would say it's more dreams than desires. And you're still really on the brink of taking off. Like, you are still in a place of hesitation, but you really want to achieve something. There is something you want very, very badly. But I feel like many of you, and again, I hope I don't offend anyone, but I feel like some of you might be feeling a little bit lost in life. And those of you who don't feel lost, you're just kind of stuck, you know? And I feel like maybe this has been going on for quite some time. This gives me the vibe of someone who, you know, is stuck maybe in a little bit of analysis paralysis. But for most of you, it's a question of fears. Like, you have a lot of fears, and like your mind is just concocting scenarios of how and why things may not work out the way that you want them to work out. And all of these like thoughts and fears and emotions are keeping you stuck and holding you back basically from making a move. So I feel like, well, this is coming from me, not from Spirit, but you know, any step forward is basically better than no action. That's the way that I would see it anyway. But let's see what the cards have to say. Like, don't take my word for it. And following the first 2 cards, we have the moon with the 7 of Wands underneath. This makes me think that, again, it's kind of like reinforcing this idea that many of you are very inside your head. You are really stuck in like overthinking, and you might also have a lot of strong emotions, with the Seven of Wands coming underneath, I feel like Spirit is telling you quite bluntly that you are too defensive, that you are, you're allowing, past arguments that you have had with people, and maybe people who have attacked you repeatedly, that have put you in that defensive spot, and you're allowing those thoughts to control your life more than you should. And I feel like Spirit is telling you that you need to learn to be on top of your emotions, not be like totally controlled in the sense that you have to be like a robot, but you have to learn to master your emotions to such an extent that people cannot get to you like that, like you can't get hyper triggered. So again, this is just my opinion, not seeing this from the cards, but it does sound like maybe some of you have CPTSD or PTSD. And if that is the case, of course, there are therapy techniques that you can get into, like maybe EMDR, or other things. I mean, I'm sure you can find loads of stuff if you just search for therapy, but at least try to get into therapy. That would be a good idea, especially if you're someone who has maybe a history of not having good interpersonal relationships. This could be a particularly strong message for those of you. I also feel this very distinct message here that it's like impossible to be successful without getting some hatred. And I see this here with the Judgment and the Six of Wands. I feel like you're the kind of person that really is afraid of both success and failure. Like you're just someone who is afraid of other people's judgments. And Spirit is telling you again that you have to kind of accept that as a fact of life, that you are not going to please everyone, no matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, or maybe because you are too good or too smart, there will always be people who just have a problem with you, and you have to learn to block out the haters, because your job in life is to pursue your path, is to pursue your goals, and not allow other people to get in the way, basically, of your fulfillment. This is like a really obvious message to me, so I'm really curious how it resonates. So please comment in the comment section if it does, or if it doesn't, but, be kind. Be gentle. Anyway, so we have the Six of Wands, we have the Judgment, and then we have the Five of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow. I really think that many of you have had, I feel like your main struggle up until this point, maybe, and even in the near future, I have to admit, like the main area that I see here that you have to work on is interpersonal relations. So I wonder, like, again, maybe some of you are even neurodivergent. That could explain a lot, or just that you have had a tough upbringing, which gave you like a skewed perception of life. Because usually people who are very afraid of judgment just haven't had a lot of support early on in life, or they have had parents who are hypercritical of them. So they never learn that it's okay to fail, or it's okay to just try different things and see what works out. Like, you might think that if someone criticizes you, it's the end of the world. And even if you realize on a conscious level that you shouldn't be feeling like that, you still feel like that a lot of the times. But Spirit is telling you that you can work on this, and that your job is to focus on your own fulfillment and not be afraid of judgment. And we have with the Five of Wands, I feel like it's really important for you to learn to get along with people from different backgrounds in order to progress in your career and your social status. And it goes beyond that. This is not just about career. This is also about basically your destiny. I hate to sound dramatic, but this is a tarot channel, so you should expect some drama. So this is about, you moving on in order for you to reach the next level of your success, which I'm sure many of you feel. I feel like you're someone who is like sitting on a lot of pent up desires and like maybe squashed dreams that you haven't pursued. Like, you're someone who really is like sitting there like a rocket before takeoff, but you are terrified to let yourself go, to pursue the things you want because you're afraid of something. You're afraid of like other people's judgments. And yeah, so Spirit is telling you really have to learn to get along with people from different backgrounds, to understand other people's points of view. This could be a specific message that in this next chapter you're going to have to, either you're going to be forced by circumstance, or you're going to somehow desire this. You're going to have an opportunity to work maybe with foreigners a lot, people from, or at least people that have very different viewpoints than you have. So you have to deal with different viewpoints and learn to be diplomatic and all that. Yeah. And maybe like some of your career also has to deal with mediating, conflicts for some of you. I see that. Oh man, like Spirit is not, like, I'm seeing the messages so clear that it's like reading a book. Spirit is not like being cryptic here. Like, I mean, we have the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Swords underneath. If this doesn't say analysis paralysis, I don't know what does. So I really think, let me look at the 2 main potential interpretations. So one of them is definitely analysis paralysis. I feel like Spirit is telling you that an obstacle in your progress, in your way, is the fact that you are getting a lot of opportunities, but you are very on the fence. You're very hesitant about which way you should go. So that's one interpretation, and I feel Spirit again is it goes back to my idea of any action is better than no action, because even if you take an action and you fail, which I know many of you are probably afraid of, you at least find out what you don't like, or you find out what doesn't work for you, right? This is how you move forward, rather than just, sitting on the fence and watching the ships go by like this guy over here. So yeah, pretty much, this is Spirit telling you need to grab the bull by the horns. And then on top of that, this is a more specific, simultaneous and actually equally relevant message, is that you should stop seeking advice when it comes to your life path. Spirit is telling you that there could be one person or multiple people in your life that are giving you bad advice. And it's not necessarily because they're ill-intended or, because they hate you or something. For some of you, it could even be that. But even if they're well-meaning, you know what they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. They don't know what you want. They don't know what makes you happy. Nobody can know you better than you know yourself. So I really feel that you have like this really huge task in front of you, pile number 2, because you need to figure out, I feel for many of you, you're at a crossroads. You need to figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. I'm getting a song in my head, so I apologize if I annoy people with the songs in my head. I'm getting that song by Placebo. It's the first day of the rest of your life. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe it was literally called that. But that's the song that I'm getting. It's like what's past is past. Spirit is telling you what's past is past. You need to move on. You need to figure out what you want to do from now on. Don't mull over the past, and also don't allow people to distract you with bad advice. Because people might give you advice of what to do so that they're happy, not that you're happy. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be happy, you need to pursue your path. This is also why you have this Pathfinder wolf here. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your, whatever it is, like your secret, let me check it again, is your secret power, all right? You have a love that endures. So Spirit is telling you that, you need to just move forward irrespective of other people's feelings. You also have this with power and leadership and firmness with a bear, with boss. So I feel like definitely there's like the message that many of you are afraid to stand out, but you need to learn to stand out in this new chapter. And look at this, the happy ending. You have the ending of this new chapter is going to be quite happy here. I feel like you're going to be taking all of this, past hurt, past pain, and also all of the emotional and spiritual wisdom you have gained through them, and somehow use them to spread happiness and joy. And also this could be about you reuniting. I just got the message that for some of you this is about healing different parts of yourself. One aspect. Another thing is you could literally be reuniting with kindred spirits, maybe even people that you have been missing, because it does start out with the Three of Wands, which shows longing. So for some of you, this is really specific, but this could be that you are reuniting with someone that has been far away for a long time. I also feel like it's ending with a celebration. You're going to be happier by the end of this chapter, more emotionally fulfilled, and I also think more successful overall because of this Jupiter energy, and also the Ten of Pentacles that came out. So this is pretty much what I get here from this, from the spread. Let me get some astrological cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. Tell me from pile number 2, what is the next chapter of their lives? What is happening for them in this next chapter of their lives? We have trine, support, and inspiration. We have the number 3 here. Support and inspiration. Like, you're getting in touch. I feel like also Spirit is telling you, don't listen to the naysayers. Listen to the people that are on your side. Especially, again, this kind, I'm going to bridge it with psychology, because people who come from like troubled backgrounds, they tend to try to impress the people who hate them, you know, and they keep wasting time trying to change the minds of those who are just never going to be on their side, which is a waste of time, especially when there will always be people who really are cheering you on and want you to be happy and fulfilled. We also have Sagittarius, the world explorer. So again, many of you could literally be thinking about, with the Three of Wands at the beginning, this could be about a travel or moving abroad. And that, if that sounds like you, this could really happen by the end of this next chapter. We also have Gemini, the communicative. We have Neptune, dreams and spirit. And we have Taurus, the sensual. I did say take the bull by the horns. I was thinking about Taurus when I said that. So also Taurus is very connected to abundance as well. And you do have abundance here with the number 1. So I feel like by the end of this chapter, and that is if you play your cards right, you know, if you choose a path and stick to it, and, you know, don't back down as soon as you hit a setback. I feel like Spirit is telling you that there are good things waiting for you. And I also feel like as a result of this chapter, you are going to become way more determined, because Taurus is known for its inertia. It's one of the so-called power signs, quote unquote, which are the fixed signs in the zodiac. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, sorry. So these are the signs that are known for their determination, their staying power, their ability to stick to a plan until it is completed. Especially Taurus is like the strongest embodiment of this. You know, Taurus is like the proverbial tortoise that outraces the hare, basically, you know, outruns the hare, because it is just so determined, even if it is maybe sometimes a little bit slow. Its sheer determination, its sheer inertia is so strong that it basically gets what it wants. So that's the energy that you're going to be embodying together with Sagittarius and Gemini. So Gemini is also showing that you're going to become more communicative. So I feel it's also, Gemini is known as one of the social butterfly, if not the social butterfly sign. So I feel like this is also tying into that subject that I talked about, you focusing more on good interpersonal relations, maybe, you know, polishing those people skills. And I feel like with the Neptune, there's a lot of inspiration coming through. I feel like you are learning to really trust your intuition. You're going to be like on the good side of this moon energy, you know, like instead of being overrun by emotions, or especially negative emotions and past memories, I feel like it's going to turn more into trusting your intuition, your inspiration, and using your bad feelings and maybe your bad memories as motivation. And you're going to be more adventurous. There's like a broadening of horizons, and I also just feel like a general easiness, you know, an ease, like you're gonna be more in the flow. And I also feel you're gaining more support. Oh my god. It just hit me now like a ton of bricks because it's called the box, you know? So I feel like you start out being kind of stuck in a box, you know? It makes me think of this like really dark joke that I read at some point. It said it said a guy approaches his boss's coffin and says, who's thinking outside of the box now, Gary? Like, I mean, I don't know, just ignore my very, very deranged mind. But anyway, so it's like thinking outside of the box. So you're basically leaving your comfort zone by the end of this chapter. And it's going to open a lot more doors for you overall. Like, I'm feeling overall more happiness, which is great because, you know, if I say money, I mean, money does not buy happiness. So you're going to get the full package, I feel like. You're going to be happy with your situation, whichever that may be, you know, and it may look different, of course, for each of you. This is what I'm getting here. So let me get the Astro dice as well. Spirit, tell me about pile number 2. The people who chose the ruby and zoyosite crystal. What is their next chapter? Oh my god. So, okay, we have Gemini again. Gemini is really strong. We have the number 7 again. Because, I mean, the reason I say 7 again is because you have a lot of 7s here. And we also have Mars, right? So you're going to be a lot stronger, more adventurous, more assertive. The number 7 also speaks of dealing with an audience. And it's also about introversion, though. I associate the number 7 to Ketu, the co-ruler of Scorpio in Vedic astrology. So I always link it to heightened intuition, maybe even like borderline, borderline psychic abilities. So yeah, this is what I'm getting. Let's see the charms, Spirit. I'm really curious. Tell me about pile number 2, the ruby and zoyosite crowd. Tell me about pile number 2. What is the next chapter of their lives, Spirit? Oh my god, you got a coin. Spirit, what is the pile number 2's next chapter? God, you got a turtle. Okay, that was like too many at once, but okay, that's enough. So, can I just say right off the bat, some of these charms also came out for pile number 1, so you might want to check them out. This is like the funniest to me. You got the turtle. I did say about, you know, the story. I talked about the story of the tortoise and the hare. So, slow and steady wins the race. This is a message. We have a confirmation of the Mars energy with the sword and also Gemini. We also have the moon again as a symbol here. So, yes. I also feel like this could be amending the relationship with your mother or with motherhood in general. And we also have a lot of hearts. We have this really cute artsy heart. We have, let's see, this heart. Oh my god, with mama on it. So further confirmation about something to do with mother wounds or mothering. This could also be like, you know, you're going to learn to parent yourself in this chapter, you know, which is something recommended for people who have not had a great childhood. We have believe, okay, so increase of faith. That's Jupiter energy, I would say. We have beautiful, that's Venus, maybe from Taurus. We have hope. We also have believe again. Wow, we have believe and beautiful twice, actually. So some of you could be going through a glow up. We have inspire. Yeah, you're going to be inspired to act, basically. And we have blessed. Such a cliche, but hello. You're going to be blessed in this next chapter. And we also have imagine. This one came out for pile number 1, and I started singing Imagine by John Lennon. I'm not going to say that again. We also have this heart. If you have watched some of my other videos, whenever I get this heart that's made with love, makes me confirm the Taurus energy because it makes me think of, you know, arts and crafts. So I feel like some of you are going to be focusing on just in doing what you love, you know, in this next chapter. And you have the coin that came out first, which really cracked me up. You have so many messages of abundance and wealth coming through. So I feel like that's positive. We do have this, which makes me think of a wreath or a ring. Also could be a Celtic or Roman symbol. See how that resonates? I'm not sure how it really ties in with the rest of it. We have an elephant here, which makes me think of more inertia, like something heavy and unstoppable. So I feel like that's your energy in this. And look at this. This is a symbol for going within. So some of you are really going to be figuring out a lot about yourselves maybe in this next chapter, maybe going to therapy, like I said. We also have an anchor, so I feel like you're gaining more stability in this next chapter. I think we have multiple swords. Yeah, we have scissors as well. This could also be about cutting ties with people that are just not really on your side, or at least keeping your distance. We have, again, the bone and the cart here, or like I think it's a cart. What do you call it? A cart, a wagon. So this is what I would associate, again, with wealth, but also like slow and steady development, and the bone as well. This could also be like, speaking of songs, the song that I'm getting in my head right now is Cleaning Out My Closet by Eminem. Like, I'm sorry, mama, I never meant to hurt you. And oh my god, you have the mama theme multiple times. I don't know, some of you could be having some beef with your mother figure, or mother figures. Oh, we have two elephants, different designs, a lot of inertia, a lot of determination, you know, and we have two rings or wreaths. Yeah, but I see this more as a wreath in this situation because you do have the Six of Wands. So I see this as a sign of success, honestly. Laurels, wreaths, however you want to call them. You know, the crowns that they used to put on people's heads in the Roman Empire when they would jump in, you know, they would walk in on their horses all triumphant after a war or something. Oh, and we have a smiley face. I did say you were gonna be happier by the end of this chapter, pile number 2. Oh, and you have two anchors. You're gonna be really anchored. And love. Whenever I get this locket, I've said this in another video, it makes me think of Love Locked Down by Kanye West. And we have another heart. So there are loads of hearts here. So I feel like many of you are opening up your heart chakras, you know? Like, even if this is not about, I don't feel like it's necessarily about romance for a lot of you, but this is just about getting in that space of love, allowing yourself to be open-hearted. And I'm also getting Elastic Heart by Sia in my head right now. So anyway, it's like about being open-hearted and maybe trying to meet new people, you know, hanging out with friends, people who are like-minded, loosening up, enjoying yourself a little bit. So, yes, and there's something going on with the mother theme. I don't know what's going on there. Like, or some of you maybe could be going through, like, thinking about having children. Or maybe, you know, you're even going to be having children within this next chapter. But I feel like for many of you, this could be triggering some, you know, thoughts about your own mother or your own mother figure. But in any case, it's a happy ending situation. So I hope you have enjoyed this reading. I definitely have. And if you have, don't forget to like, subscribe, click on the notifications bell if you want to see when I will upload a new reading. Also, comment in the comment section with any ideas that you have for future readings or feedback you would like to give. And if you would like to further support my channel, please click on the join button, become a member. And if you're interested in a private tarot reading, you can check out the video description. I will leave my email address there. You can email me for a full list of reading options with prices. And I've also left a link in the video description to reviews I have gotten for private readings before, if you're curious to see them. And last but not least, I also have an astrology channel, and I will be linking it in the video description as well as in the pinned comment. Actually, I'm not going to be pinning a comment, so only in the video description. So if you're curious about astrology, I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. Go ahead and check out my channel, maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you in my next tarot reading. Bye! Welcome, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this card with the number 10 and the warrior, and or this Unakite crystal. So this is going to be the card selection phase. I'm going to be taking my time. You can skip to the timestamps in the video description for the reading. So tell me, Spirit, about pile number 3, the people who chose the Unakite. What is the next chapter of their lives? What do they need to know about the next chapter in their lives? Tell me, Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to know about the next chapter in their lives? We have the 7 of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups. We have the Star, the Fool. All right, I think, no, it's fine. We have the 2 of Pentacles, and we have the Empress. All right, I think I need to put a bra on these dames. Hold on a second. All right, better. Just making sure that I don't get attacked by the YouTube police or something. So, Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the next chapter of their lives? Let's see, we have the Page of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the King of Wands, we have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Emperor underneath the Empress. Damn, what is going on, pile number 3? All right, let's get some oracle cards for you. Spirit, what is going on in pile number 3's next chapter? What is going on in the next chapter of their lives? What should they know, Spirit, about the next chapter of their lives? All right. Yeah, this one feels right. Spirit, what should pile number 3 know about the next chapter of their lives? All right, Spirit, what should pile number 3 know about the next chapter of their lives? Tell me, Spirit, what should they know? What should pile number 3 know about the next chapter of their lives? All right, let's see. Oh my God. This should not be here, so I have to select another card. Okay, so apparently these are the definitions of the cards. Not that I needed the definitions, because anyway, let me get another card, because that was just the description of the cards. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the next chapter of their lives? All right. Okay, so we have 25, the Ring. We also had this card come in for one of the other piles. I'm not going to say which one, but if you felt drawn to any of the other piles, feel free to check them out. So we have promise, commitment, partnership, deal, contract or construct, I'm not sure, and cycle. And we have burden of tears, number 21. All right. And now we have these cards. Elephant, greatness, love is your strength, leadership is your path, your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem, you will naturally and easily achieve success. And we have Black Bear, guardian, gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power, help me protect the ones I love, awaken my intuition, and guide me. All right. So, really nice. As you can see, I had to plaster some post-its over the anatomically correct drawings Just making sure. I'm not sure if you're like allowed to, how much you're allowed to show it, whatever. But yeah, some of these cards are like unnecessarily anatomically correct, is all I'm gonna say. Yeah. So anyway, what I see for you, pile number 3, is what can I say? The next chapter is going to be quite glorious. That's the nutshell. You have the Empress, you have the Emperor coming out, you have the Star, and you have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and you have the Ring here. So similarly to the other pile, I think for some of you, this could be like in the next chapter, you're getting married, especially since, I mean, we don't have the cards that are normally associated with marriage, but we do have these like male and female counterparts coming out twice. The King and Queen of Wands, the Empress, and the Emperor. So it makes me think of it, not just any marriage, but it makes me think of like power couple situation. So some of you, you could be partnering up with a romantic partner, but for some of you, it could even be just someone from the opposite sex, because we have these male female counterparts. So I'm seeing something about the opposite sex. Like you could be partnering up with someone in order to build a business, or maybe you're just going to get a lot of help from someone from the opposite sex in order to increase your wealth and your happiness overall. So let me start with the beginning. This is you right now with the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So right now, at the moment that you are seeing this reading, your energy is basically really focused on building your career, building up your finances. You are working hard. I also feel like some of you are really using some kind of intellectual abilities. Most of you, you're really using your intellect, and maybe you're studying as well. So some of you could be studying and learning at the same, studying and working at the same time, or you're just like working towards maybe getting a degree, you know, really building up your education. But I'm seeing that you are getting pretty frustrated with the level of progress that you see maybe with respect to your career. However, in the near future, like this is really interesting. Spirit is giving you like a very strong message here that there is some kind of opportunity right in front of you, or near you, or right behind you. It's really close and you just don't see it. We have this very clearly here with the Five of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles underneath. So there's some kind of a message that there's like a gold mine somewhere in your life. This could be a person, this could be an opportunity you haven't taken into account that will really increase your wealth, or is like almost like like I said, like a gold mine. Like somehow it could bring you a lot of abundance, it could bring you a lot of success materially and professionally, but it's like either you don't see it, or it's something that you don't really like, you know, it may not be immediately appealing to you. So that's a message I'm getting very strongly. Then you have the Star and you have the King of Wands underneath. So I feel like yeah, I wonder if many of you are on social media or something, but I do see that in the near future, in this next chapter, let me put it like that, maybe not the near future, but your popularity is growing because of this King of Wands energy. So your determination, your entrepreneurial spirit, you know, ideas that you're coming up with, you're very fiery, really passionate, and somehow it's bringing you more recognition, it's bringing you more attention in this next chapter. And then you also have here the Fool backed up by the Queen of Wands. So you're like really throwing yourself head first into some kind of a passion project. I see a lot of determination here, you know, which is refreshing. I'm not going to say anything about other readings or the previous piles, but it's just refreshing to see so much determination here. So I see like a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of purposefulness here in this pile in this next chapter. Like you are sure, you know what you want and you are going after it. And I feel like Spirit is telling you that a potential obstacle in your path is this like Two of Pentacles backed up by the Knight of Wands. So for some of you, this could literally be maybe some kind of a relatively youthful male figure. This could be like a male peer. For some of you, very specifically, it could be like a brother figure. Some kind of a male peer, sorry. So this is more specific for those of you who have a person like this in your life. But this person could be an obstacle to you, you know, like maybe this is even a romantic interest. And if this is the case, it could be a person who is not very supportive of your goals and your plans. It might even secretly plan to sabotage you. For others, though, so irrespective of whether there is an actual person that is trying to sabotage you, you know, or, you know, unconsciously is sabotaging you, this is speaking of you needing to be better at managing your resources, your time, your energy. So it's telling you that it's really of the utmost importance to plan ahead, basically, to prioritize so that you don't end up in burnout. And in order to achieve everything you want to achieve, basically, and also to deliver the quality that you want to deliver. And finally, you have this Empress and Emperor energy. So I almost feel like I see this as just your determination, your hard work is paying off, you know? Like, I feel like you are using all of your hard work and you are hustling and you are working hard, you're building, you are growing your empire. And eventually it's leading to this restful state of the Empress. For some of you, this could even be like getting to a point where you become a mother, or you could be having a child, maybe if you're not capable of getting pregnant. I mean, for either because you don't have a womb or because maybe you have had fertility problems or something. But somehow there could be some kind of a position where by the end of this chapter, you are some kind of a mother. You're in a mothering position. But whichever the situation, if that does not sound like you at all, because I know not everyone wants to be a mother, it could be just about being in a much more lush situation financially. So this is about being able to rest. I feel like this is really cool because we have Burden of Tears with this card, number 21. And then we also have number 3 with Empress. And she's like letting something flow from this jug. So I wonder if it's like about, I feel like, I mean, the way that I would read it is that you are letting go of some kind of heaviness, like in this new chapter. So there's a lot of like emotional heaviness that maybe some of you have been carrying around. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have Bharani placements, maybe Revati as well, but Bharani especially, Bharani Nakshatra, I mean, if you come from Vedic astrology. But let me not digress. I am seeing, though, that by the end of this chapter, you are heading towards a very lush situation and, you know, better abundance, maybe more creativity, being able to, quote, rest in your feminine, if you will, end quote. And I also see that it could be that you will have your match, like you will meet your partner, your counterpart by the end of this chapter. There is like such a good symmetry between these two cards as well. With the goat energy, the goats, like, well, actually, I think this is a bull. But this is your energy. This is you becoming this emperor. A lot of Aries, Capricorn energy coming through. Yeah, I'm seeing some overall success here, especially when it comes to, I mean, I feel overall success actually, but I see it especially connected to finances and career. I think this could also be about you becoming more creative, like maybe becoming more successful in a creative endeavor. And like finally moving on to a better position in life. I really think that most of you are people who have worked hard for a lot of stuff for a long time. But yeah, pretty much this is what I see. So let me get the astrological cards now. Spirit, what do you see for pile number 3, the elephant. I mean, not the elephant. The people who chose the Unikite, also who chose the elephant, the black bear, or the warrior. Tell me, Spirit, what is this person's next chapter? All right, Neptune. Let me start the other way around. We have square, challenge and disharmony. We have south node of the moon, old karma. We have Chiron, inner healing. We have trine, support and inspiration, and Neptune, dreams and spirit. So there's definitely a message of you healing. I mean, this is why you have burden of tears here. I also wonder if maybe some of you have placements in Ardra Nakshatra or Satabhishak Nakshatra. That would make a lot of sense. I feel like many of you have just gone through a really painful karmic cycle up until the point where you reach this reading because of the south node and all this like message of healing and stuff. So I really see someone who has struggled for a long time, and you're finally going to hit, you know, calmer waters. You're also seeing more support, more creativity. I feel like many of you are going to become way more confident in pursuing your dreams. So I definitely see for most of you, you could be successful in something creative. And I feel like you could be chosen. I mean, this is more specific. You could be chosen in some kind of a senior position, let's say within your profession, or it could be that you're going to end up in a position where you will become responsible for a lot of people, whether you start your own business or you become some kind of a manager, a mentor maybe. Or it could be like you will be put in a position, or you will put yourself in a position to be like a counselor, a guide, a coach maybe as well. And I also see with the south node though, your intuition is very, very strong. I feel like you're also solving a lot of inner conflicts in this next chapter. Maybe conflicts as in paradoxical sides of yourselves, trying to figure out a middle ground of how to just make yourself fulfilled overall. Like maybe you're someone who, let's say, just to give an example, which is a classical one, like if you're a woman, maybe you have felt very strong desire to have a family, but then you also want to have a career that maybe you want to work for, or you have worked for very hard, and you're going to figure out a way to make everything work. I feel like this is going to be a time of resolution. And also just inner healing of your old wounds. This is why I'm really getting strong, maybe Satabhishak Nakshatra energy. All right, let me get the Astro dice. Spirit, tell me about pile number 3. What is the next chapter of their lives? Oh my God, we have Ketu again. I mean the south node. We also have the number 10 again, which could be seen as the 10th house, the house of career. We also have Taurus, which is an energy of slow and steady wins the race. And Taurus is also ruled by Venus, and it is connected to the second house, the house of resources, money, assets, especially. So I definitely see abundance coming in your life, and also some kind of like past life karma being solved. And a past life also makes me think of maybe, but no, there isn't a particularly strong message about this, but it could also be that in this next chapter, you're going to be meeting people that you've known in your past life, and, you know, they're going to become significant in your life. All right, let me get the charms. Spirit, what can you tell me for pile number 3? The people who chose the Unikite. What do they need to know about the next chapter of their lives? All right, nothing is coming out. Okay, wow, 2024. Let's see. Oh my God, you got family. And the sword. Oh my God, you got family twice. Wow, this is really strong. Look at this. You got family twice. So that's the Emperor Empress energy here. So like I said, power couple, something going on here. So I really think that by the end of the next chapter, many of you will be starting a family, I think, of your own. But at the same time, it could be about solving family issues from your family of origin. We also have hope. So I feel like you're just reaching a better mental and emotional state overall. We also have here the moon with a star again. So there's a little bit of a star here. So I feel like the moon again is motherhood. I mean, moon is connected to Cancer and the mother archetype. So it could be about solving issues surrounding your own mother, your issues surrounding motherhood. Could be either one of your parents, but especially the mother. So I feel like it's about, for many of you, it's about learning to heal your feminine side. And we have the moon twice with a star here. Like, yeah, so it's really strong. And also the star, I feel, is a confirmation of the star card that came through. We also have the microphone here. So there is a confirmation of that star energy of you gaining maybe more recognition, more attention, more respectability. And also with the 10th house, you are reaching some kind of a higher position in your career. And with the 10th house, this is also confirming what I said about being placed in a position of having responsibility over many people. And we also have the mermaid here. It makes me think of Purva Ashadha Nakshatra. But mermaid is also Pisces energy. So I think that you're, heading towards a pretty dreamy chapter. Like, you're going to get a lot of your wishes come through. True, not through. And through, actually. So you're going to get a lot of you're going to get to see a lot of your wishes come to reality. And we have this little car. This is also making me think of a kind of a family car, like it's, because it's cute and it's like the opposite of basically sexy or sporty. So again, I don't know why I got the theme song from Married with Children. I don't know if you know that show from like the 80s or the 90s with Al Bundy, the Bundy family. The theme song was like Love and Marriage. I think it was a song by Sinatra. Anyway, so it makes me think of that, like some kind of a comfortable family home for some of you. And we also have, I think this is a priest. Pretty much, I think it's a priest or maybe the Virgin Mary. I'm not sure. So this is making me think of spirituality. For some of you, this could be about tradition, maintaining tradition. And this also makes me think of legacy and building a family. But it could also be you getting closer to your traditions, getting closer to your religion. And we also have this thing here, which is like, I don't know, some kind of a Chinese writing. Have no idea what it says. But again, this makes me think of things that are ethnic, that have to do with, being proud of your culture. Could be about, again, solving conflicts with your parents, your area of origin. Maybe it's about going back to a place of origin for some of you. And it could be about maybe exploring some cultures in depth. This is really specific, but I feel like it could be about maybe some of you are going to be getting DNA tests, like you're going to really be getting in depth in exploring your roots and trying to figure out why and, why you are the way you are and what makes you who you are. This is what I'm getting here. We also have this butterfly, which makes me think of transformation. So this is going to be a transformative phase. This is like, I don't even know what this is. This is just like part of a bead or something. It just makes me kind of think of a crown. Makes me think of abundance. We have the mountain here. We have a mountain. Makes me think of like you climbing a mountain, which is associated with Capricorn. The reason why Capricorn is shown by a goat is because goats will climb mountains. They will climb rocks in really dangerous situations. So it's just showing that you're going to become, well, first of all, that you are overcoming a lot of challenges, but it's also about you reaching some top of the mountain. So again, makes me think of recognition and more respect. We have a sword here, which makes me think of determination. It could also be that you're just becoming more firm with your boundaries and not allowing anyone to mess with you. Becoming more of a go-getter, basically. We have this hand. Makes me think of Hasta Nakshatra. Maybe some of you have Hasta Nakshatra placements. But again, it could also be connected to things that are traditional. Yeah, again, it makes me think of fingerprints. It makes me think of DNA tests. Maybe some of you really are getting DNA tests or have thought about it. This could be like you maybe getting in touch with some, long lost relatives or people from the past. But like I said, with the South Node coming out twice, this could be people that you've known from past lives. And we have the hummingbird. So the hummingbird is speaking of you being really quick and light in this next chapter. And also just getting the sweet nectar, you know what I mean? All of it is like kind of, oh, and this one is really fun. Again, makes me think of family. Because you have here the Empress, which is pregnant, and you have the Emperor, which is like basically 3 people, So maybe, again, it makes me think of you building a family, some of you, but this could just be like spending time with family of origin, reuniting with people that you were close with at some point, maybe even friends. But I also see just more playfulness, more fun, and more security. Like, you're going to be able to relax by the end of this chapter. This, again, is kind of like a traditional, maybe slightly oriental pattern. So, again, it just makes me think of something traditional and, like, getting back in touch with culture. Maybe your culture, or, again, exploring someone else's culture. Like a spouse. Not necessarily, though. See how it resonates. But I feel like something about learning in depth, learning the history of your own people in depth, or learning the history of a country in depth, something like that, is going to become particularly important in this next chapter. Oh, and I also said this, you have 2024. So 2024 is going to become some really significant year. Yeah. I don't know if all of these things are going to happen by the end of 2024. It would be a lot. Please keep me posted if it does. But 2024, I feel like, is going to be really significant with respect to your growth. This could be like the beginning of the next chapter of your life, So this has been pretty much it. Pile number 3. And if you have enjoyed it, I definitely have. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the notifications bell if you want to see when I will post a new video. Comment in the comment section with any feedback you would like to give or ideas for future topics that you would like me to cover. If you want to support my channel further, click on the join button, become a member. If you're interested in a private reading from me in tarot or astrology, actually, you can check out the video description. I've left my email address there, and you can email me, and I will send you a pricing list with reading options. I can also send you actually sample readings if you're curious to see them, but the readings will look basically just like this, except it won't be like a pick a card. It's just, directly your question. Aside from that, I've also left a link to reviews I have gotten for private readings before. If you're curious to check them out, might help you decide if you want to get a reading. And last but not least, I have an astrology channel, and I focus mainly on Vedic astrology, but also with some tropical insights. So if you're curious about astrology, go ahead and check it out. Maybe subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you at my next tarot reading. Bye!